Hi, we are Janessa, Laura, and Kristin. Today we're going to talk about a great alternative augmentative communication application available to clients called TouchChat HD with Word Power, version 2.5.0. This app is created by Saltillo, and version 2.5.0 is their most recent update.
Accessibility is one of TouchChat's greatest benefits. Any client can add it to an existing Apple device they already have at home. TouchChat works on Apple products such as the iPhone, iPad, and iPod if you still have one of those.
Information on the TouchChat app can be found on their website at www.touchchatapp.com. The TouchChat app by itself costs $149.99 plus tax. When combined with Word Power, which is what we're discussing today, the TouchChat HD with Word Power package costs $299.99 plus tax. Prices of additional page sets and accessories can be found on their website.
Now we will cover various functions, features, and strategies available on TouchChat HD with Word Power version 2.5.0.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about some of the available page sets that are part of the TouchChat app. There are 7 standard page sets available on TouchChat HD with Word Power. When you open the app, they're all listed in this menu. So you're looking for these yellow ones right here. So there are 7 standard page sets. You have 4 basic, vocab PC, spelling, multi-chat 15, aphasia, communication journey aphasia, my core, and I think we got all of them. Oh, and Word Power, our favorite. I'm just going to describe each one briefly. So, for basic, if we go into there, it's a screen that only has a screen showing only 4 buttons at once. It's geared towards users that need minimal targets. So if this is looking like what your client needs something simpler, you would go to for basic. The aphasia communication journey, this is specifically for people with aphasia, so a very specific client. The files that are part of this page set were specifically created to help aphasia users participate in daily activities and social activities. My Core, this is geared towards users with literacy skills, so it combines common core vocabulary and common phrases and lets the user combine this together. So it requires literacy skills, as there are no pictures on it. Spelling is, well, you can see it's a screen filled with a keyboard. It also has 4 word prediction buttons. You can also program in common phrases. It uses a QWERTY organization on the keyboard, so if you have someone who just wants to spell, that's an option. The vocab PC, this is geared towards users with developmental disabilities. The screen can show 12 buttons at once, and categories of the buttons include carrier phrases, interactive sentences, activity vocabulary, and naming words. And then 2 more, the multi-chat 15. There are several versions of this. There's an adolescent, adult, and student version. Depending on the version you choose, the vocabulary will change. So, for example, locations in the adult would include things such as work, whereas in the adolescent or the student, it would include things like school. So let's just choose the student, since we're students. Woot. Woot. So it shows 15 buttons at once, and again, you can see those categories. Multi-chat is where you can reach visual scenes, you can do recordings for storytellings, And there are different versions on that. My Quick Chat. Where did it go? We found it. My Quick Chat is another page set that has several different versions depending on who your user is. There's an adult and a child version, and within that it has screens that you can either have an 8 position or a 12 position, so you can change the amount of buttons that are available. So that's with the multi-chat. And then last but not least is Word Power, our favorite. Word Power has lots of different positions, so you can go from using a simple layout, the smallest one, which would be this 24, or you can make it larger and have more options for the user and go to like a 108 position, which would allow more vocabulary on the screen. A neat thing about TouchChat is that there are also Spanish page sets available. Many of them are the same as the English ones, such as Vocab PC. And it's not going to come up because they're not. Oh, yeah. They have multi-chat. They have Vocab PC, spelling, which they call teclado. And then they also have syntaxis and sin syntaxis. So syntaxis is geared towards children who are creating beginning sentences. So it has 20 buttons, and it's available in English and Spanish, actually. The sin syntaxis is for children who cannot create sentences, and that only has 16 buttons. Those are the standard page sets.
The pages, grid layout, buttons, messages, and symbols of TouchChat are fully customizable. One way to customize is by adding or editing existing buttons. We're going to cover 3 potential scenarios. The first scenario is adding a new button when a word that you want is not available. Let's say the user loves going swimming. You go to the clothes group, but there is no swimsuit button. Instead of having to type out swimsuit each time they tell a story, we can simply program in swimsuit. First, you want to go to the desired page where you want to add buttons. Click Menu, select Edit Page, select a blank button, select Edit this button, and then fill in the button details. The button label is what the button will say on the screen. The button message is what the button will say when you click on it. You can also add an image. Once you have put in all the details, hit Save, and Done. Next, we are going to work on editing messages on an existing button. Let's say you want to call it a baseball cap instead of a hat. So go to the desired page that displays the button you want to edit, click Menu, select Edit Page, and select the button you want to edit. Select Edit this button and adjust the settings within the button. Once you're done, hit Save and push Done.
baseball cap.
Let's say you want to move wallet and umbrella because you use the wallet more often. Go to Menu, press Edit Page, push on Wallet, move it over to the space where umbrella is, let go of the button, and hit Done.
When you first download the TouchChat app, the first thing you want to do is to decide which page set you want to use. Instead of just accessing the standard page set, you want to copy the current page sets so you can customize it to the user's desires and needs. If you do not copy the page set, you will not be able to make adjustments. So in order to do this, first you need to go to the vocabulary page set list. Now, say choose new vocab. Now you want to consider what type of page set you want to use. In this case, we will have a client with aphasia, so we will want to use the Aphasia Communication Journey page set. Now, what you do is select Menu, press Copy Vocabulary, scroll down and define the desired page set, aphasia, select it. Now you're going to title it. In this instance, we're going to entitle the page Ruth, after the client who will be using it. Now press Save. Now scroll down the list to find Ruth's name. Now you can make adjustments to this page to help the user. To navigate between page sets, we will discuss that. But why would you want to navigate? Well, there are a few reasons. One reason for navigating between page sets is when the user is in a trial period and they are wanting to try out different page sets. Another reason is if the user is transitioning between two different vocabularies and they need to be able to access the mastered page set and the page set that they are currently training. Here is how you navigate between those page sets. Now, in this screen, press Vocab, choose New Vocab, and select the desired page set. Make sure that you select an already made and copied page set. Now, we are going to discuss that when you're in here, sometimes you need to add a page within a page set. How you do this is by first going to the screen where you are wanting to add the button with the page set. From here, you want to determine which button will be linked to the new page set. We're going to choose this blank one. Now, select Edit Page from the menu. Now, select the button that we are going to link, which we already determined. Then, select Edit this button. From here, scroll down to Button Action. And select Add. Select Navigate. And we're going to link it to our page called Favorite Things. You can find this by typing it in the search bar. Now you select the desired animation. Now scroll up to the top of the page and create a label. We're going to say Favorite Things. Now press Save. Now press Done in the top corner. And now when you click on this button, it will take you to the new page.
As an AAC user, there are several rate enhancement strategies that can help you type faster and become a more effective natural communicator. One of these is called coding strategies, or known in this app as abbreviation expansion. First, let's show an example of one of these. Let's go to the keyboard. Sometimes when there are popular phrases you use, you don't want to be limited to having to type out every word when you want to say the phrase, such as soon as possible. So instead of writing out as soon as possible, we're going to type in our code, ASAP, period.
As soon as possible.
And then it says the full phrase. Let's try one of our own. Go back to the keyboard. Go to Menu, Edit Abbreviations. There's our list of previous ones. So we're going to click the plus sign. Let's pretend this person is a preacher, and they're trying to tell their congregation to follow Jesus' example. So they always ask the question, what would Jesus do? We're going to type in WWJD, period, so he doesn't have to type out every word. Expands to, that's the area that will talk out loud when you hit the button. Kind of like the button label versus button message. Save. Let's try it out. Type in WWJD, period.
What would Jesus do?
And now the preacher can preach. Now we're going to cover the selection techniques and selection technique settings available in TouchChat. There are two selection techniques. You can either access the app using direct contact selection or switch axis scanning. So direct contact selection is the most common way. It's just you using your finger on the screen. So there are a couple adjustments you can make regarding how long you touch a button and when it triggers you selecting something. Those are called your release time, activation time, and dwell time. So to play with those, you go into Menu and go to Settings, and then you're going to scroll down until you see, keep going, it's going to say that dwell time. Aha, found it. So the first time, dwell time, that's the delay before a button press is recognized. You'll know your button has been recognized because the screen will dim slightly and a white square will appear on the button. So you're changing how long you need to press it until that happens. So you click on where it says dwell time, and you can either have more time or less time depending on what the user needs. Then you can also adjust the release time. The release time is what will help your user from preventing accidental activations. So after you press a button, it disables other activations for a certain amount of time after you press a button. So again, we're in the menu and we've scrolled down to release time, and then you can change how long you want to have to hold down the button before something is selected. Ranges from 0.1 to 5 seconds. The last one you can do is called the activation release. That's just at the top of that button selection. When you toggle that on and off, it changes from if you're touching it to when you just let go for selecting. So if you have it off and off, that'll change off and on. It'll change if you're pushing down or letting go to trigger a button. And you just move the little toggle back and forth. So earlier we talked about rate enhancement strategies. There's one rate enhancement strategy which is phrase and word prediction. In TouchChat, those are built into different page sets, so there's no way to turn them off and on. You have them depending on the page set you use. So for example, in 4 Basic, there is no word prediction option. When you hit one of the buttons, it simply says what it is and goes back. Whereas if we go back into Word Power, so we're going to go back to our home screen, to our list of vocabularies, go to that third one from the top, AAC, the one that we've made up. When we turn on our word prediction will come up right here at the top. So when we type in words, so if we say like, I went to the store, and then went will already pop up at the top. So, that being said, you'll notice that at the top, the words are no longer popping up at the top of the screen. Activation feedback for the user can be turned on and off through the menu. So, to get those words for the user so they can see what they're typing, we go to Menu, Settings, then we scroll down, keep going, under Speech Display Bar. The top hides speech display. When it's green, it hides the words. When it's white, again, you can see the words you've typed in, which is what we want. As far as what the user hears, the listener hears, there are different types of message feedback. If we go to Menu again, this will change the sounds that come out of the iPad when we hit things. Go to Settings. We scroll down again until we see Speech Bar. Speech, just keep going. Speak. If we toggle Speak Characters, then each individual letter will be spoken. If we turn Speak Words, and we'll demonstrate that. So we'll go to the keyboard. On the right-hand side below Groups, we'll type in a letter. It was really soft, but it said A. Then we'll go back to Menu, and we can change some other things. So on Menu, we can also change if it will say every word, and then the sentence when it's complete. So Settings, go down to Speak, Speak Words. If we turn it off, then when we type a word, we'll hit Done. When you hit type a word, it will not say it. It just appears, but it doesn't come out. And then finally on the Speak Sentences, if you turn that on and off, then it will say or not say sentences depending on if it's off or on. Another cool feature is you can change the voices. There are many voices available in TouchChat, available through the menu. So we'll go to our settings again, scroll down to the voices or speech, and click on voices. There are male, female, English, and Spanish voices available. To preview them, you hit the blue speaker circle.
Hi, I'm Josh.
It'll display the voice and give you an example of it, and then you download it before using it. And those are some cool speech settings.
TouchChat comes with a wide variety of selection sets. One of the selection sets that TouchChat supports is a visual scene. Now we are going to go over how to program a visual scene onto your TouchChat. First, determine the picture that you want to use for your visual scene. Next, you want to select what page you want to have the button that links to your visual scene. We're going to go into Groups. The button we are going to use is the blank button in the bottom right-hand corner. Now, we are going to create our button. First, go to Menu, Edit Page, and tap on the location where we are going to add the button. Now, press Create New Button. We're going to create the button label, which is My Dog. But we don't want a button message, so we're going to delete that. Now we're going to add an image for this button. So press Select Image. Here is the wide variety of the selection sets that come pre-programmed on the app. We are going to search for a picture of a dog. These are all the examples that come with the dog. We're going to use the second picture. Now we are going to go into programming the button. Now scroll down to edit buttons, press add, select navigate, and press the plus sign in the top right hand corner. Now you are going to entitle the new page, which is going to be My Dog. Next, you are going to change the amount of rows and columns on the page. TouchChat comes with a wide variety of spaces available, from 4 to 108 grid sizes. For this purposes of visual scene, we're going to use the largest amount of rows and columns available. This gives you a wide variety of grids to choose from, so you can select the proper grid to make your selection. Now we are going to import the image that we have pre-selected. So press import, press image library, and you're going to select the camera roll. Now we are going to select the picture of the dog. Press use, import image. Oh, we did that, and save. Now, in the search bar, type in My Dog to find the page that you have just created. Then select your navigation, and now press save and done. Now select the page button that we just created, and it'll take you to the picture that we put on the page. Next, you want to edit the buttons on the visual scene. First, you're going to do this by pressing Menu, Edit Page, and select the area of the picture that you want to correspond and act as a button. We're going to select the area near the dog's face. Now press Create New Button. Now type in the label. We will type in the dog's name. Then the button message. Our button message is going to be, "This is my dog, Morty." Once you've typed in the message, scroll down and select Transparent. This will make it so that you can still see the image on top of the word. Now select Save. Now the button Morty has been created, but it's quite small, so we're going to change the size. So click on the button Morty and click Change Button Size. We're going to go 4 rows in height by 4 rows in width. Select Save. Now the button covers all of Morty's face. Now you can select Done. Now, when you select Morty's face, a message will be sent.
This is my dog Morty.
And there you go.